Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at another fun Pokemon for the Open Great League. We're going to take a look at Lugia. And Lugia got access to the move Fly, which honestly is something that this Pokemon really needed as, before this Pokemon was a monster in the Open Master League. It completely vanished after Sky Attack got nerfed, and it wasn't really nerfed for this Pokemon. It was nerfed because other Pokemon were way too strong with this move, and this was kinda, had nothing to do really with Lugia. Lugia was never fully overpowered. It was one of the strongest Pokemon in the Master League, but never like completely busted. And now this Pokemon finally got a good new move, which is going to be Fly, which is a very, very strong move. I think even stronger than Fly, the Sky Attack was back in the day before it got nerfed, like I think three or four times, something like this. This move now with Fly is going to be very good for it. And still, this Pokemon is somewhere at rank 600 on the current meta ranking on PvPoke. So what did I really expect from this team? Not that much. And I was completely wrong. This team was, so far, one of my best teams I've played, and I'm battling against most of the top players. Like, literally. I know most of the players I'm battling here as well. And, at least take from the name. And, like, this team completely destroyed them. And it's, of course, not completely down to, like, Lugia itself. It's mainly, to be fair, Gastrodon currently. Gastrodon is one of the best leads to counter the current recently buffed Pokemon, and in combination with the Pokemon Fortress, it works really, really well, which you're gonna see here, for example, against the Pokemon Ferret. This Pokemon here has only charge moves that are going to be resisted by our Fortress here. So what we can do is we can get some damage in the beginning, basically, with our Gastrodon, then just swap out into our Fortress, take all the hits and get a ton of energy and still win the matchup, still realign, and end up in a really good position, because now whatever wants to come in has to take at least a charge move here. We're gonna go actually for the Rock Tomb, because this allows us now to get the shield, but also we can even still go for another charge move against them because of the Rock Tomb. Their attack dropped, as it is a double resisted hit already. And we're going to be able to get the defense drop onto them. And we're going to go into our Lugia, because Lugia doesn't really have a lot of play against a lot of Pokemon. I kind of want to give it a try here against the opponent's Dragalge. They're going to reveal here that they have the Jealous. I don't know if they I don't know if they showed it before. I don't think they did. But we're going to get the shield here from the opponent, which now allows us to swap out into our Gastrodon. I will be able to take a hit here still. I'm still going to use a shield here against the Surf just to make sure that I can hit this Earth Power. This is going to be what needs to land, because this will allow us to put them into range to farm them down. Even if they're going to knock us here somehow out, we're going to still be in an okay spot, because a Dragon Tail is going to be enough to knock them afterwards. As we will see here, the opponent just forfeits and we can move on to the next opponent. And this is exactly why Gastrodon is so cool. Gastrodon is going to be able to not only beat Scizor, it's also going to be able to beat Pokemon like Dedenne, and those are two of the most common leads. And because those are very common, also, like, for example, Pokemon like Typhlosion are very common in the lead. And this makes Gastrodon one of the best leads that you can currently run in the Open Great League in order to climb. I will most likely look into teams as well that are just for climbing as well. For the Open Great League that I don't really have to have buff Pokemon, but currently I have a lot of fun with a buff Pokemon. Is there any buff Pokemon that I haven't showcased yet that you want to see? Then feel free to let me know down below. There are two fun and spicy Pokemon that I still definitely want to showcase, which I'm gonna take a look at tomorrow in my battles, but you will see the video eventually. So definitely stay tuned for this. Here we're actually gonna see the Talonflame, which is gonna be able to shield up the Rock Tomb. I should have maybe swapped out even earlier there. I didn't expect that I would have survived the Incinerate after the drop of the attack, which is kind of funny. But as we will see, we're still going to be able to get some shield here even against them, which is cool. And now I could actually just let this move go and try to sweep with the Lugia. Let's see if this is going to work out for us. They still have energy here on this Pokemon. I have a shield left. I'm going to use a shield here right now onto the Brave Bird, which is great. They're going to swap out here into the Scizor. I'm forced to go for my Charger straight away as I have access to the move Night Slash, which is super effective against us. And now we have to hope that we can catch a move, I think. And we are going to be able to do exactly this. And with that, we're going to be able to win yet another battle with our Shadow Lugia, which is kind of hilarious. Of course, if you don't have a Shadow Lugia, by the way, a normal Lugia does the same, or literally, I don't know, like a lot of other different Pokemon. It does not need to be a Lugia here, absolutely not. We're going to see Marowak here. Marowak is a Pokemon where, I don't know, like it's cool, But what I can do here is I can hope to get the shield. I don't get the shield, but I can catch the move, and that's kind of what I wanted to do here. I can catch the ground type move onto my Lugia. They swap out into Dusclops, and that's not a neutral matchup, but it's a playable matchup, and I am always down for some playable matchups. We're going to be able to get some nice damage into them. We're going to get the shield here into them as well. That's totally fine. We have the Ice Punch coming through. That's really good for us as well, because they're still going to go for another charge move. And so Lugia did its job. Did get a little bit of damage on the Dusclops, got rid of most of the energy from the Dusclops. Now we have the Fortress here. Now we have a little bit of an issue, because we don't have the fast move pressure. The thing is here, if I go for a Rock Tomb, I might be able to knock them out in time, but I'm not even too sure if that's going to be enough to knock them out. Do you have to swap out of here to try to catch a move? It did not really work out. I'm going to shield up this move now. Shield up the move before, of course, as now this will have been a debuffed move. But somewhere I have to shield something, and so yeah, Marowak comes back in here, which means they're going to be weak against me in the back. They're going to have Tentacruel here with, I think, Acid it is, which means we are going to be able to just go for the Sand Tomb, which is dropping the opponent's defense stat here as well. And they are just not being able to do any damage against us. We still have a shield left, and we're going to keep the shield for the Gastrodon, because currently we are forcing them to go for a charge move against us, which is lovely, as now the Scald is going to knock us out. We're still going to have so much fast move pressure here, even of course a Body Slam will have knocked them, but we're going to be able to win the battle. Talonflame in the lead, honestly, I don't even feel like it's that bad of a lead. Like, yeah, of course, in general, that's a very tough Pokemon for us to deal with, Talonflame. Especially with Flame Charge. Never mind, I take everything back. Flame Charge is a bit of an issue. Unless they're going to go for the Flame Charge here again, then it makes it way easier for us. And they let the move go through. They're going to go straight from the move here, giving me another free fast move. It's going to be Flame Charge, interestingly enough. And I can go for a Body Slam here. That is going to be either able to knock them out or get the the first shield. We're going to get the KO here, and they're going to reveal that they have Ferrothorn in the back. And that's a Pokemon where I want to catch, of course, the move onto my Lugia. Lugia, I can take a hit here, and I should be even able to outspeed them before they could go for the Thunder. Issue is, they're going to see here that there is the Lantern still lurking. The Lantern is going to be a hard counter to Lugia. And so, this is going to be tough. We were able to get a shield here, weirdly enough. I don't know why they shield up a resisted hit, but we will take it. And the Surf is coming through here, going to knock us out. We're gonna bait here with our Gastrodon, trying to get the final shield as well from the opponent, which does work out as well here, because I know that I have so much energy on my Pokemon. But we are going to let this move go, of course, because I don't have a shield left. And they're gonna go into their Ferrothorn, which is really lucky for me. I think I make a mistake here, though. I went for this charge move. I don't think I needed to do that. I think I could have just fully farmed them down without going for this charge move, and would have ended up with a ton of energy already for the Lantern matchup. But no matter what, I'm fairly certain I'm in a very solid spot, as I can easily take a hit. I can go for the full farm down here. Lantern comes back in. I can go for another Sand Tomb. Super effective hit again. It doesn't really do a lot of damage, but drops the opponent's defense as well, which allows us to fully bug bite them down. I don't even know if we lost the battle so far. Like, so far everything kind of went really smoothly with our Lugia. Now we're going to have a very tough battle here. We're going to have the Gastrodon going up against Jellicent. I think they go for the Surf here, which is smart by them, because they need to go for 2 charge moves anyway. Going for the Surf straight away allows them to, yeah, kind of deny the turn that they lost from swapping out. They always, of course, lose the turn from swapping out in the beginning there. But if they go for the charge move first, and yeah, 3 versus 3 turns as fast moves there as well, they kind of completely get rid of the disadvantage that they had from that, because they just kind of block my next fast move with that. But as you can see here, we're going to be able to get both shields from the opponent, which is all that I kind of want from the moment, as I need to still keep my Gastrodon alive in order to deal with the Steelix. And so I am going to be forced to kind of use a shield here as well, because I need alignment. And then I'm going to go into the Steelix here. I would have liked to have, for sure, the move Earthquake, but we cannot have everything here. But luckily, I'm going to be able to go for 2 Sand Tombs. And so maybe actually double Sand Tomb is going to do more than an Earthquake would have done, with a Bug Bite damage adding up as well on top of it. I'm not too sure, but I should be able to barely survive this move here. It is going to be the Psychic Wings, and yes, I can, and I can still go for even a Body Slam. Remember, well, this usually doesn't do any damage. They're double debuffed, and it still doesn't do any damage. But we're gonna put them into now the Araquanid. Do we have a chance of winning this battle? We have a Fly coming through, Stab Fly from Lugia, Shadow Lugia, super effective hit. And somehow this Pokemon just takes it as if it is nothing here, which is kind of mad. As we will see, we're going to have the Water Pulse coming through. It's not going to knock us out, but also we are gonna go down to the Bug Bite, and so yeah, good game there. Araquanid's on the list of Pokemon that I want to try, but honestly, Araquanid kind of scares me on how inflexible it is. But yeah, I don't know. Bug Bite as a Dragon Breath clone kind of will make it definitely very interesting. But anyway, we're gonna see Diggersby coming in here. We are having a kind of hard counter scenario here so far. We have two Pokemon that I don't really want to face like this, and especially Diggersby like this is going to be very scary, as it's just going to be able to knock us out. And yeah, Lugia is coming in. I can try to get some energy here, but also what we see is that even though we are flying type Pokemon and we should be having a great matchup against a ground type like the Diggersby, the Fire Punch is still going to chunk quite a bit, and they're still going to get to another one, and I'm fairly certain they would still get to another one afterwards. So I could try to catch a move, which I try to do here, and it just barely didn't really work out. Maybe I could have went for an extra fast move. I wasn't too sure if they had like one fast move stored already. Let's try to go for the safe play. But yeah, didn't really work out. They're going to go into their Marowak. Should be able to fully farm them down. But they still have 2 shields left. I have some energy on my Lugia, but 2 shields is going to be quite a bit. And they're going to reveal that they have Credilli, and luckily they're running Acid, which is going to allow us to take the hits a bit easier. And so here we will get into our Lugia. I will be able to go for a fly. I can go for another fly straight away afterwards. But this game is still going to be not over. It's going to be still a close one. But let's see on how this is going to go. We're going to have here the Charter going through, knocking us out. We need to go for the Earth Power. We have still a shield left. The opponent gives me the free fast move here even, which is kind of cool. But as we will see, we have the Body Slam coming through. This is going to allow us to get them low, but they can catch the move on the Diggersby. I expected them to swap into the Diggersby after their own charge move because I knew they had a Fire Punch stored, but I didn't do that, so I over-predicted. And I think we're going to go up here against Colin again. We battled them already in an earlier video, so that is going to be an interesting one here on how this is going to work. I'm fairly certain they're going to bait me here. Like, I know that they know the game, but they also know that I know that they have Trailblaze and that they would just one-shot me if they're not going to go for the bait. And so I decided to use a shield, but honestly, that works out quite well because I can catch the Trailblaze now on my Lugia. And so while they thought they had like a great play there, it actually didn't really work out for them. They're going to go into the Moltres though, and I'm fairly certain I have to go straight for the fly in order to actually get this move off. Otherwise, the opponent should be able to just get to their own fly in time, and then I need to use a shield, and it's kind of all awkward. And so I can go to my own Fortress here, and I was thinking they're gonna go for the fly, and I got completely wrong with that one. So yeah, well played there. And now this game is going to be a little bit of an uphill battle. I am shields down, they have 3 Pokemon left, but they have a Drapion left, which means I can go for the Earth Power. 1 Earth Power, 1-shots them. I'm close already to another Body Slam for the flying type here, for the Moltres. The Body Slam is coming through. 1-shots them for sure from this range. And with that, we're actually going to be able to still sweep up the battle. And so we can move on to the next opponent. You see already how good Gastrodon is. Now the opponent is going to have the same here. What I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to catch the Earth Power onto my Lugia and see on how they like that one. I can catch the move. Do they go for the Body Slam bait or do they go for the Earth Power? They get straight Earth Power, go for all of the energy straight into their waist. But also, they're going to go into the Carbink, and that is kind of awkward. But this is going to be the first time today where you're going to see Aeroblast actually being used. Imagine that Hydro Pump, Lugia learns Hydro Pump. Would have still not knocked them out, I think, from this range, but would have came close to it. Here, I didn't think that an Earth Power would still do enough damage from this range yet, so I decided to use a shield. Try to get a ton of extra energy, could have went for one more fast move as well beforehand, and now try to go for the Earth Power to now knock them out. Not too sure if I could have just went straight and would have been able to knock them. I think it would have not done enough damage, but yeah, Gastrodon from the opponent comes through. I'm gonna go straight for the Earth Power again, just hoping that they think that's Body Slam, and they think exactly this. I can farm them down with a Fortress, and they have the Goliath in the back, and I do think that I'm going to be in a very solid spot. They have Fury Cutter, which is great, but doesn't do as much damage and is also resisted. I have basically Dragon Breath, and I can boost it now up with the Sand Tomb onto the opponent's defense. This is going to allow us just to do so much more fast move pressure, and we see already on how much this adds up. I can just use a shield here, and with that, the opponent should kind of go down, and as long as, yeah, I can farm them down before they can farm me down, I can go for another Sand Tomb. And this just kind of seals the deal, as now our fast moves do even more damage, and we can knock them out and move on to the final battle of today's video. Where we have a lovely lead, Dedenne, they're gonna swap out into the Ferret, and again we can do the same kind of play. Dedenne Ferret, apparently like a, yeah, play or like a team that people are running nowadays. Like, that's not the first time I faced this kind of core. But we can go ahead and take the hit here onto our Fortress, which is gonna be great. Fortress is going to be a Pokemon where we are going to be able to just take any kind of hit anyway. the Swift is going to not do that much damage. And I can go for the Rock Tomb, which definitely going to knock them out anyway. But they want to try to realign, which I'm fine with because they can't. Like, there's no way they can realign themselves. I might be able to still even knock them out here before they have to go for another charge move. And yes, I can just knock them out before they can go for another fast move. So I have shield advantage, I have switch advantage, I have the Dedenne locked in against our Gastrodon later on. I have half of the HP from them gone. So even if I am going to have to land like a move from Lugia, I'm gonna be fine. Lugia goes up against Gligar. Funny matchup, to be fair. We have two flying type Pokemon. Their fast move is going to be neutral here. The charge move is going to be neutral. The aerial ace is not going to knock me out. I can go for the fly. And I do think that fly does quite a bit more damage than what, they do to us. And what we see as well is that I can actually just let the move go through. I don't even think it's going to be enough to knock us out. It is not. And we can still reach another fly, which means we can definitely win the battle. And that's going to be it for this team. Funnily enough, against a lot of good players, like I think 3-time regional when I call in there as well against us again. Against a lot of top players, this team works really well. It's not because of Lugia. Lugia is not needed for this team. But Gastrodon, Fortress Core, really great. Especially Shadow Fortress with Phantom is really cool. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like. And I will see you then. Bye-bye.